Good morning, everyone! Woo! It's another day keeping chameleons, and how can that go wrong? Well, today I'm going to be taking you along with me as I check out Spearmint and Wintergreen, and happy birthday wishes to a very cool chameleon. So first, let's go ahead and check out Spearmint and Wintergreen and see what's going on. And as part of my checks, I don't do this daily, but like weekly, I take my solar meter out just to make sure that the UVB lights are functioning as they should. I've got a T5 fixture up there. It is way above the cage top and way above the perching branches, and so I've got a 12% T5 in there. Much too strong for being on top of the cage, but because of the distance and filter of the screen cage top, 12% is a good one for this particular case. Now, Shamrock chameleons don't like to do a whole lot with UVB. They need a little bit, but they're not going to be basking like a panther chameleon. So I'm okay with levels on the underside of 3, UV index of 3 at the basking branch. So, but let's go ahead and check them. And so we just, there, can you see the solar meter right about there? Points. Okay, that, why is it so low? That should not be low, should not be low. What's going on? 1, all right. Something is not right. I know that there's a 12% up there. These are like 6% numbers. What's going on? All right, I didn't expect this particular segment to be this exciting. All right, so let's see. There's the UVB. What's going on? 5. It should be a lot more than that at this. All right, well, yeah, great. That's not gonna break on video. All right, so this is, it's good time we do, good thing we do these checks. All right, well, I didn't expect to do this public service announcement, but this is the reason why it's good to check your UVB levels, because that should have been at a high level, a higher level. I don't know what happened to the UVB levels, but I'm gonna have to replace that bulb. Now, I wouldn't have known that if I didn't do the check, and this is why it's important to have a solar meter. And I know that's a real tough thing to say because they are expensive, over $200. And there's nothing cheaper that does the same job. So it's like we're stuck, but it's an invaluable tool if you're going to be serious about chameleons. And I expected this to be a simple segment of, oh, look at the solar meter, look at it's got the correct levels, and go on with life. But obviously, I discovered something. I'm going to have to take a look at it. This bulb shouldn't be going bad, but you never know what happens. And since we can't see UVB, I mean, we don't know when things go wrong. Now, maybe, you know what? This is a silver lining. I can talk about my affiliate link with BioDude, with Chameleon 10. It's a coupon code that you can go to the BioDude, and that's where I get all of my replacement bulbs. And it's for situations like this that I make sure that I have replacement bulbs sitting around, even though I don't need it. They say replace them every 6 months or 12 months, depending upon who you talk to. But it has proven a good idea to have those backup bulbs ready. So I generally have 3 or 4, because I have a lot of lights. If you only have 1 light, I would get 2 backup bulbs and have them and just replace them as you need to. Say if you're replacing them every 6 months because you don't have a solar meter, then just have 2 bulbs sitting in reserve and buy one every 6 months just to replace the one you use. And that way you never get to the point where you don't have access to the UVB bulb. And you're saying, well, shipping is quick, Chameleon will be fine. Yes, but with UVB bulbs, there seems to be a supply thing where they're available and then all of a sudden they're all gone and you can't find any anywhere and everybody's out, because I'm sure the supplier, there's really only a few suppliers of UVB bulbs. And so when there's something going on in the world and they're not able to produce as many UVB bulbs as they need to, there's a shortage, and everybody here knows. You go onto social media and and suddenly everybody is saying, "Oh, anybody know where I can get UVB bulbs?" I don't know why that is, but if you have two in reserve, you don't have to worry about that. You can just replace them when they're back in stock. And so this is a good thing for, my coupon code Chameleon10 at thebiodude.com. That's where I get all of my replacement bulbs, and it works out quite nicely, like in this situation. So, all right, I'm going to go replace that bulb. All right, for those just tuning in, Wintergreen is my female shamrock chameleon, Kaluma o'Shaughnessy. There she is back there, way in the back of the cage, behind all of her plants. Looking good. I'll have to see if she'd like a treat this morning. All right, I'm going to go ahead and try to do this silkworm. I know she doesn't like cameras, so I'll have to do this from hiding behind this Hoya. There you go, girl. Good girl. Oh, nice shot. And then we can go on and check out Spearmint. Okay, still have dew from the morning mist. There he is, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, doing good. We'll see if I can't even get a focus. There we go. Oh, and let's see, do I want to show this on video? He left me a gift. Here, I'll put up a portrait of the artist and his masterpiece. All right, so we've had our morning feeding check-in. They look like they're doing great. They both took a silkworm from my hand, and so I'll be feeding them their regular meal a little later on today. But now, let's go ahead and take a look at that fecal sample that good old Spearmint gave us and see what's going on inside. And Spearmint is doing very well as far as I'm not seeing any nematode eggs, not seeing coccidia, although we'll take a look at the float for that. I am seeing flagellated protozoa and the Entamoeba coli. That's the Entamoeba coli is that round thing, and the other protozoa is a thing bouncing around. But if we look around, we see that it's not a very bad infection. Yes, I see some of the other E. colis, Entamoeba colis. Let's go over here. Let's see what's going on. And so, yeah, we see a little bit of movement, but it's not the raging party that it used to be. So this was from one dose of metronidazole, and I'm being very cautious with Spearmint. Don't want to, with some of the other shamrocks where I gave them the entire dose of metronidazole over, was it 4 or 5 days, and then they just wouldn't eat. So, and I'm still trying to pull them out of that. So I'm being entirely cautious with Spearmint, and it's working. So the infection of the protozoa is way down. And this is the advantage of being able to do a fecal sample on every single poop that comes out of that creature. because I can keep track. So there's more of the Entamoeba colis, and by the way, the colis are treated by metronidazole as well. So if I see a little bit more of infection, if I see the density going up, I will do. Oh, there's a little protozoa, a little bouncer. So if I see the infection growing over time, I will do another dose of metronidazole. But at this point, this is such a low density infection that I'm not going to put any more medicine into that poor chameleon's body. And if you're saying, oh, but wait a minute, if you just have a little bit, won't it become a big infection? Well, it will, if the life cycle is not broken. And remember, we have 3 ways of breaking the life cycle. There is killing the adults. That's with the metronidazole. There is the removing of eggs at the bottom of the cage. That's the spot cleaning and the deep cleaning. And then there is making sure that the food and the eggs never come in contact. Well, if I don't do the metronidazole, I will be doing the spot cleaning, and I will be making sure that there's no food at the bottom of the cage. So yes, doing all 3 would be the most thorough I can do, but by doing only 2 of them, I can still be incredibly effective at making sure that this infection doesn't get out of hand. But as you're seeing, and the reason why this is a daily vlog is every day I take in information and I make judgment calls based on that information, and I recalibrate or whatever I'm doing. I make decisions every day based on the new information. And that's what being a chameleon keeper is all about. Anyway, very happy about what I'm seeing here. And I'll wait another 5 minutes until the float has had time for all the eggs to float to the surface and stick to the cover slip. And then be back and show you what the float looks like. All right, guys, as per usual, you're seeing this with me for the first time, so let's see what we have. This is the float from Spearmint. This is at 10 times, and let's go down to 20 times. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at this from a high level. Yeah, I can already see we've got a lot of the Entamoeba coli in there, but that's for a higher magnification. Right now, we are looking for nematodes, like hookworms, pinworms, and those are those big egg, pill-shaped egg cases, I don't know what, the pill shape, kind of the boomerang. And at this high level, yes, my dog will be part of this vlog. This high level, I'm not seeing all those dots. Oh my goodness, those are all the Entamoeba coli, the protozoa. So, yeesh. But let's go ahead and let's just go down and take a little bit of a closer look. So that thing in the middle, that's kind of the pill shape that we're looking for, but you can tell by looking at the inside, this is not an, oh my goodness. Speaking of which, there we go. So this is a pinworm egg. And I didn't see the pinworms in him before, so you know, every day is a fun thing. Go back out to 20 times magnification. So we've got pinworms. Although us only seeing 1 egg is so it's a very light infection, or else they haven't been shedding at this point. This is the thing. You can't just look at 1 fecal and say, okay, this is the snapshot of everything. Over time, it changes. And so, like, this is the first time I've done so many of his fecals. This is the first time I've seen a pinworm. So he does have nematodes, pinworms inside. That would be covered by or taken care of by fenbendazole, Panicure. And that is relatively safe. So I think I may give him a dose of Panicure, even though I'm holding off on the metronidazole. So let's go ahead and take a look, something a little closer. Here we are, somewhere around some deeper. Look at all those Entamoeba coli. But the encouraging thing is I'm not seeing any coccidia. This is the level that we'd be looking for coccidia. I'm not seeing any. Very encouraged. I do not want to deal with coccidia. Now, even though this is at the higher magnification level, we're not going to be seeing any of the flagellated protozoa like we did on the direct smear because the fecal float solution kills them all. So we don't get to see a whole lot of life when we're looking at a flotation. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but generally speaking, that's not what we're looking for. So as we go through this, you can see there's just all sorts of different stuff. And after a while, you get used to what is and what isn't a parasite. There's things called pseudoparasites, meaning they look like parasites, but they really aren't. And some of these circles can be. I've got that little circle that has like a circle inside of it. I don't think that may be a pseudoparasite. I'm not sure what that is. But as you saw me do, if I started seeing more of those and it looked like, wow, there's a lot of these around here, then I would go to the vet, just like I did with this Entamoeba coli. Like you see two of them right here. I kept seeing them over and over. And so I said, okay, I need an answer. So you went with me to the vet and we did a checkup. And that's how I know what they are now. That's what we do. So I think the big thing is that there's no coccidia, although obviously I'm going to be looking every single poop. And it looks like, do I want to give them another dose of metronidazole? I'm seeing a lot more of the Entamoeba coli this time. So, I'm considering it. I think what I'll do, though, is I'll just keep watching the fecals. And if it starts to get worse, I will consider medicating. Or if he shows behaviors that show that he's feeling lethargic or he's not feeling well, eyes closed, you usually don't want to let something get that far. But we know that there's problems when I believe that there's problems when I give too much of the metronidazole. And so this is, once again, it's me having to make a judgment call with just the information I have in front of me. And if I asked anybody else, well, everybody else would be making a judgment call with the background and experience that they had. So such is life. Okay, looks good. We got the information we need. And we'll go on. Good boy, Spearmint. All right, well, looking at poop is something that, well, has become a daily occurrence around here. The good news is that I'm really happy with Spearmint's progress. All right, now it's time to get ready to give birthday wishes to Bilbo Baggins, who is a very cool yellow-crested Jackson's chameleon, Trioceras jacksonii xantholophus. And Bilbo's keeper and servant is Eliza Ann. Now, I think in real life, her name is Eliza, but Eliza Ann's her screen name, and so Eliza Ann has become her community name. And I like it. So, until she says she doesn't like it, she's Eliza Ann. But Bilbo Baggins, let's see. Let's make sure we have that date correct. February 16th, was born on February 16th. Bilbo Baggins is a male and is captive born, and he comes from Kenyan bloodlines. Look at that gorgeous beast. I love Jackson's chameleons. These are one of my favorites. And so I'm very glad that Bilbo Baggins has found a wonderful home with Eliza Ann. Happy birthday ahead of your birthday, Bilbo. So thank you very much for hanging out with me this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow to start the day off with chameleon goodness at the Chameleon Academy vlog. See ya.